Welcome to the South African Heritage Resources Information System, or SARIS. In this video, we'll show you how to create a heritage object on the system. So to begin with, cursor over the Objects option on the sidebar menu and click Create Object. You can minimize the sidebar menu by pressing this button on the bottom left to increase your workspace. From here, you are presented with a web form that will allow you to capture all sorts of information around a heritage object. So first of all, you can create the object code, which is the unique identifier for the object on the system. You can then add in alternate codes, such as accession numbers and other forms of recording. You can include common names. You can also create classifications using the channel standard. So as an example, by selecting a generic object, it will then give you an array of different options that you can choose from to formally categorize your object. You can include local names. You can also include the quantity if you're creating a collection, descriptions for the object, including information around the provenance, as well as the parent and related objects information. These speak to the relationship between the object and other objects. If the object is a component or part of a set of objects, then that will determine if you want to include information around the parent or other related objects that are part of its collection. Further, you can include information around the owner or responsible custodian for the objects, any administrative content, as well as any administrative comments to capture other information around the object. You can then capture descriptive information around the object, including types of materials, manufacturing techniques, and colors. You can capture information around distinguishing features, any inscriptions, as well as any measurements that you have for the object. And these can be all sorts of things from circumference, depth, and diameter to volume, width, or size of any kind. You can also make further comments to describe the kinds of measurements that you have taken. Under this tab, you're able to capture the history of the object from its age, any comments that need to be made around that, geological periods, which are especially useful for paleontological information, cultural associations, the maker of the object, comments around those makers, as well as the place that the object was produced, the people that have used the object in the past, as well as the places of those use. You can also capture the date of uses, and then for collected information or for collected objects, you can capture information on collectors, as well as any references to the object that exist. And these can be books, journals, newspapers, other forms of publication, as well as websites and records that exist on SARIS itself. You can also capture the site association for objects, is specifically for archaeological artifacts. This can include the site reference for the object on the system, as well as the grid reference and stratigraphic unit and spit context to capture the spatial context for the object, as well as any X, Y, Z coordinates. You can also capture images pertaining to the object. This can be detailed photographs or general photographs, as well as uploading documentation, be they bills of sale, deeds of transfer, or any other kind of information around the history of the object. Once you're done, simply click Save, and that will take you to the object record. So here is an example of an object captured on the system. And as you can see, it has the general information presented here, as well as the object's description and provenance. However, you have a whole swathe of other information captured using the tabs presented here. And so you can see that it includes all of the information that has been captured on the object, from its description, its history. As this object is not archaeological, it does not have a site association, and any assessments or movements that would have been captured for the object would be presented here. Now, these assessments and movements can be created here using the object actions, and these allow collections managers and responsible custodians to track and record the movement of objects from one place to another or from one nature to another, as well as capturing the information pertaining to condition assessments on the system.